you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Birmingham's the team, down at St Andrews. We are loyal supporters of our team. We chanted Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? Let's hear you in the cup, singing our song, helping and sharing the load. It's worth the point at all when we sing together. We're there at the end of the road. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day. We're so happy following the blues. We love you, what more can we say? We have a team that's tops here at St Andrews. They're gonna give us what we're longing for. It's Birmingham forever. Let's hear it from the stand. So come on, City.
It is, of course, Christmas week, ladies and gentlemen, the most joyous part of the year. Right, that's that over with. An emphatic first half saw Birmingham City score 3 goals. Yeah, 3 in the first half. I bet your pants were twitching a little bit there, weren't they?
Yeah, they were, yeah.
3 goals in the first half and a deserved win in the end. I know they got 2 back, 1 right on the desk, but that doesn't matter. All that matters, guys, is them 3 points are in the bag. They are now ours. That's it. World Cup's finished. Thank God for that. That's all I can say on that matter. I think the boys will want to say something about it, though, but on to the next one, Wednesday. We've got 2 players that are going to be in the club shop. Okay.
Oh, yes, that's right. Hannibal and somebody else.
Hannibal and
JJ.
else. Yeah.
JJ, yeah.
Thank you. Great to see Jude back at the Blues the other night, wasn't it? Hey, lads? Well, let's give that man a round of applause. His efforts in that World Cup, they were stunning. Superb. What a man. And just hope that he can stave off injury and keep going as he is, because he's going to be world class. And hopefully his brother will be too. Okay, we're joining the team tonight, which is sponsored by Ball Sports. Of course, the principal sponsors of Birmingham City Football Club, with the one and only Mr. Gray Courtney.
Or just for one night only, Father Christmas evening.
Ho, ho, ho. That was me. Father Christmas.
We thought it was. We thought you got your head in your bucket.
He's been practicing. He got stuck in the bucket. That's what the noise was.
And of course, we're joined by Chris Browne.
Good evening.
Mark Adams.
Good evening, everybody.
And the team's made up with Mr. Alan Watton.
Good evening. I normally introduce myself from sunny Sussex, but it's the coldest Sussex days ever, and it's freezing. It really is.
Really?
It's about 11 degrees up here today, mate.
It's warm.
It was -4 yesterday here.
We had -11 here the other day.
Yeah, but you don't live in sunny Sussex. You're supposed to sunshine every day, but it doesn't. Yes, it has.
You can't pick and choose, mate. I'm sorry.
Southern softies. Oh.
It has warmed up a bit, but of course it's been chucking it down with rain. Anyway, good evening, everybody. Merry Christmas to you.
Ho, 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 Alan, eh?
Hey?
Right, please tell me that you haven't got Christmas shirts and I can prove mine. Yeah. Christmas jumpers. Please tell me.
No.
You ain't got a Christmas jumper on, have you, Craig?
No, I'm going with the good old, well, you know what I mean? It's the present that everybody should
Nothing worse, mate. Nothing worse. I've had to go shopping the weekend and there's like Christmas jumpers and ornaments and things and humans and everything. It's horrible. Horrible!
Can I quickly say happy birthday to Lilypad's daughter, 10th birthday on the 21st. So it's a couple of days ago, yes. cheeky.
Yes, blimey.
It's
That's
cheeky.
2 days away, isn't it?
Yeah, it's cheeky, isn't it?
It's Christmas, isn't it? Christmas. Are we doing a Christmas show, Chris, or are we not doing a Christmas show?
This is the Christmas show today.
This is the last show of the year, is it?
It is, yeah.
Right, okay. So let's make it a little bit special.
I'm not
First
doing
of all,
that again.
by wishing Paul all the very best in your future, whatever you do. Thanks for all the hard work and effort and commitment that you put into the Tilton Talk Show over the years. It's been an absolute pleasure and a joy working with you, mate. Meeting you, getting to know you. I still don't know how you manage your memory. I ain't got a clue. But, I'm sure the rest of the team will reiterate the fact that it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much indeed.
And we would have had Paul this evening. Was due to be his last show, but unfortunately we have Paulie Paul. So get well soon, Mr. Hipkiss. Let's hope.
What's the matter with him?
Christmas. He's got the man flu, Nick. He's got the man flu.
He's a bit girly, though, isn't he?
Oh, Paul, I'm going to take everything back I've just said.
To be honest, not enough research goes into man flu.
No. I agree. I totally agree.
Well, you'll never suffer from it, Mark, so that's fine. Don't worry. We'll use you as a guinea pig.
You work in the NHS, Mark. We can only blame you then, can't we?
Anyway, moving on.
Okay, let's find out what everybody's doing for Christmas. Craig, start off.
Well, I get to have Christmas 1 and Christmas 2 split across the family. So we have the wife's family here on Christmas Day, and then over to my folks on Boxing Day. But I don't know what I'm going to do with myself. I couldn't tell you the last time that I got to Boxing Day and Birmingham don't have a game. I mean, it's going to be so strange.
That is strange.
But then it's more excuse to carry on drinking, really, isn't it? So, drink Christmas Day, drink Boxing Day, and then to watch the match, you've got to have a drink. So why not?
Totally.
Can you ring me up on Boxing Day just to remind me of that?
Will you remember your Christmas Day? Oh, I'm not even
it's my birthday.
It's your birthday. That's it.
Right, here we go. Chris Browne, what you doing?
What am I doing? Christmas. I might be working Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and probably then on the day after as well.
Really?
Whoa! Slow down, man. You can't work. Come on, birthday.
If I am, I'll be going out very, very early, so I'll get back in time for everybody waking up.
Okay, all right. When you say you're working Christmas Eve, you're not driving a sleigh, are you?
I was just like, you're not helping.
The names. I mean, come on, Chris, can you say them all? Because it doesn't count if you say JJ, Dina. I'm sorry, they're not. They're not reindeer.
No.
Alan, what about yourself?
First half of Christmas with my son in London, and unfortunately, my daughter couldn't fit us in until the 27th, and I thought, great, I can go to the football at a Burnley or watch it on the telly or whatever. And of course, they moved it to the 27th. So now I've got to go from my son's on the bus all the way to my daughter's and back again, which will take 6 hours because there's no trains. And in order to get back in time to watch the match, I've got to spend 6 hours on a bus.
You could have gone by Royal Mail.
You'll probably get me there quicker. Yeah, stick a stamp on me head.
Mark, what are you doing?
Christmas Day I'll be here in Becky's side of the family coming over to our house here in Coventry, and then
in Marksville,
and then probably the day after Boxing Day I'll pop over to my family in Browne, over to Harborne. See my mum and dad and my brothers. So yeah, pretty much like Craig. I'll split over to two sort of Christmases really. So I look forward to it. Always nice to get together, isn't it? And it's going to be weird. No box.
Mark, how do you always feel about the fact that they're going to go to prison on Christmas Day? I mean, it's not really that nice, really, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Who's that, Craig?
Well, Mark's in-laws are going to end up at prison, aren't they? I mean, if you go to Coventry, that's prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible place. Horrible place.
It is what it is. Well, that's me. I should get up on Christmas morning and open my birthday presents.
Yeah. Of course, it's your birthday.
Please watch all your Facebook accounts around about 10 o'clock for the photographs of Sharon opening her Christmas presents.
Oh, no.
I've won it.
I'm absolutely
Chris, I have won it this year, I promise you.
Not a toilet brush this year, then?
I've stolen the show this year, mate. Right, so just watch out for that, around about 10 o'clock. If you're not on my Facebook page, you're very welcome to come along and join in the frivolities and the fun. Okay, so I'll get up, go into my daughters. See my grandson Zachary and Madeline, Becca and Anton. That's mum and dad. Going down there for a bacon sandwich first thing in the morning. Come back here, probably go out around the town for a few drinks like we normally do. And pop to Sharon's daughters. And then come back here and just probably go sleep.
You forgot the drinking in between there, Nick. I mean, come on, you got to get that little bit in as well.
I'm a professional. I don't mention it.
So what are you doing for Christmas, Nick?
Professionals don't talk about their trade. What am I doing? What?
So what are you doing for Christmas? That's just a normal weekend, isn't it?
we know you too well, Nick. We know you too well.
I'm rather jealous of a few people and their messages on the shout box at the moment. Wayne Day, that's just so unfair. He's going to Lanzarote on Christmas Day. I mean, that's
really?
Yeah.
I hate him.
You mean we've got pilots working on Christmas Day? It's ridiculous. Huh? They might have families. It might be their birthday and all.
Nick, you can't mention anything else about Sharon's Christmas present. She's watching.
I won't.
Yeah,
I won't.
Craig,
10 o'clock in the morning.
Craig,
Around about 10 o'clock in the morning, the photos will appear.
Craig, we need to get in early regarding our charity event, if you can get that in early, because there's still time.
We do. So, right, we are going to be making the draw later on for our raffle prizes. And I will be having my little elves join me to come and make the draw on behalf of all of us.
Look a lot like Christmas.
We've sold over 200 tickets so far.
Incredible.
But we want to do one more big push. So please.
How much are they, Craig?
The tickets are £2 each.
Right.
Or if you buy 3, you get 2 free. So for the slightly sum of £6, you can have 5 tickets. So if you are interested, please message me on Messenger. I do have the phone ready to pick up any that come through, and I can allocate your numbers before the end of the show.
Work me out 20 quids worth, mate.
Thank you, my good fellow.
Oh, look, he's got an official book. Oh,
He's got his little elf, naughty,
Hey, look,
nicely.
I'm really doing it properly.
Why haven't you got an iPad? Get up to date, man, for crying out loud sake.
I've got my laptop on the go and the phone on the go. You know, if I do one more thing, I'll be classed as a woman. They do everything.
exactly. Yeah.
Not with hair like that, you won't, mate.
We're in trouble already.
Okay, did anybody go to the game on Friday? It was bitterly cold, and I genuinely thought to myself while I was at work, yeah, you know what I'm going to do. And then it got down to like -9. I thought, well, I'm not risking, an hour and a half's driving back. It'd be even cold on the way back. So
I think Mark can give us a report.
And watch it.
Was horrific.
Go on, Mark.
It was horrific. No, I'd say it was so cold. I mean, like loads of others who went, it was just, I felt like my toes were going to snap off. It sounds like a cop-out, but I think that contributed to the atmosphere. It's a really weird atmosphere. I felt it's almost like a pre-season. It's like a pre-season friendly, but in the winter, it was very odd.
There was no atmosphere coming across the TV.
There was hardly any.
And I was speaking to a Stoke fan, believe it or not. They're Stoke fans. They're not that clever, but this one, good idea. Like when you go for a bob roll, have 2, drink your 2 bob rolls, put your cups upside down on the floor, put your feet on top of your cups. He said it keeps your feet warm.
All right. Do you have to wear shoes?
I don't know. Whether he's taking the rip or not, I don't know.
Yeah.
I think an extra pair of socks would have been cheaper and more useful.
Yeah. But
sitting about in temperatures like that isn't good for the soul or anything. Especially when you get I'll be 61 this Christmas Day, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, I never told you that before. No, I've never told you that before. But I will actually 61, and I've never said those 2 words together. But like to sit there and absolutely freeze. This is why I really, 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 really want football to be played through the summer. Jump in a t-shirt, couple of cold lagers.
Totally agree.
Right. Okay. So the game then, Mark, off you go.
Yeah, totally deserved win. I think the scoreline made it look closer than it actually was, because we should have been 5 or 6 up at half time. It was just Reading. I didn't think were any. Well, they didn't really turn up. But having said that, we absolutely dominated. Troy probably had his best game in a blue shirt. Should have had that trick with the one in his second half, but it was just so nice to see him score after a minute. And he's just a totally different player this season. My good friend Hannibal had a good game. I've always raved about him even before we signed him. No, he's probably our best player, to be fair. If I had to, choose man of the match for us. It was just a very solid, compact performance, and it was a light years away from where we've been the last 6 to 12 months. I can't believe we're going into Christmas and 2 points off. Sorry, can't believe we're going into your birthday 2 points off the playoffs. It's amazing.
You know what? Right, let's go back to the start of the season, Mark. And if anybody had have offered you this, you wouldn't have just snapped their hands up; you'd snap their legs up as well.
Yeah,
without like.
Okay.
Sorry.
I'm not funny, Nick, but most people would have turned around and said, "You've drank way too much to be thinking about that sort of thing." Actually, we were the bookies' favourites for relegation.
And Sky, and vile, horrible Sky TV.
Sky, BBC, even our own reporters in Birmingham Mail had us down as relegation fodder.
Yeah.
Right? Not only have we proved them wrong, but I said it on the radio after the game on Friday. There's always a team that you never think will get to those playoffs. Why can we not be that team? If we carry on the run we're on, we can do it.
Well, look at Forest. Look at Forest, Craig. Look at Forest. Who'd have thought Forest, bottom of the table, would end up winning the playoff final? That's just unreal.
Yeah.
And
happened to Crystal Palace a few years ago as well, didn't it?
Yeah, Palace as well.
I need to shave my head. I've just remembered something.
It happened to us in 2002. Yeah. We were nowhere.
Right. We were nowhere.
And I'll tell you something. I've looked up the records, and halfway, we're better off now than we were then.
We were then. That's it.
We're better off now than we were then. So there is no reason why we shouldn't.
No.
And I honestly think we haven't actually
peaked.
That's the word I'm looking for.
Right,
Nick,
right.
peaked.
I found the word.
Peaked yet.
I found it.
and I these silly like 0-0 at Blackpool, and we've had 2 or 3 0-0s various times. You think, add 6 points to our tally, and there's no reason second time around we shouldn't improve on that. 32 points, 64 will put us probably just outside the playoffs.
10 days away from the January window opening.
That's right. If we get 74 points, then we're in business. If we get to 74 points, i.e. 42 points in the second half, which is only less than 2 a game, we're in the mix then, without any shadow of a doubt.
And it's worth adding, totally agree with the shake box, right? Yeah. So we're talking here about the fact of why can't we climb the league? However, Pete Taylor points out, great point, we're still actually only 8 points
off the relegation zone. I know. It is so tight.
It's incredibly tight in that league. Everybody seems capable of beating each other. It's fair to say Burnley are looking good. Yes, they're sitting top. They are looking good. But hey, you've got to beat the best to be the best.
Totally.
And you've got to beat the worst to be the best.
Got to beat the worst. One thing I can say, Friday night, that first half we looked amazing. Yeah. Second half, we did sit back a little bit, which was, and I think Deeney said it in his interview, it was frustrating. We did sit back, but up until that last 10, 15 minutes, we didn't look like we were going to concede.
Yeah.
Then we made some changes where we brought a bit more of the youth in, and you could see it. I stick by my comments, incidentally, for those that heard me on WM. Joe Bellingham, when he came on, right, he came on, and in his little cameo appearance, was what it was, he made one particular Maisie run, which reminded
Across,
me,
yeah.
like, down to that wing, he was brilliant. Yes,
He just looked like his brother on that one, didn't he?
he did. And you know, the thing is with it all, right? Let's not forget, this kid's only 16.
Yeah,
16 years of age.
I was
He's
still doing
got
his
so
paper
much
round.
learning to go.
I'm still doing the paper round, Greg, I promise you.
Still doing it now.
I think with the two subs, it loosened our solidness up a little bit, because perhaps they didn't quite track enough. But when both James and Bellingham on the ball were fine. They didn't give it away. They played it, and you say Bellingham had that run, but that's not their fault necessarily.
No.
There's 4 or 5 tired men behind them. And certainly that last goal was that was tiredness. We didn't close. We should have got that bloke and closed him down, and we didn't. Within the 95th minute, it's minus.
But having said that, Alan, these young players have to take a hit to learn.
Yeah.
And they will learn from it. Because
Absolutely.
You know what? Well, I can't. I never stutter. Eustace. Huh? What an absolute revelation.
Absolutely.
And I thought the revelation was going to come from the last manager.
Yeah. Yeah, it was still your fault that we signed him, but never mind. We won't know.
I had nothing to do with it. Nothing whatsoever. No.
Nigel Manners said he was sat behind Paul Ince on Friday night and he learned some really new Anglo-Saxon words. So I've got to say, I would not have fancied being in their dressing room because he doesn't hold back. And going into that game, I said it last week, they were a good team. I think there were 4 wins on the bounce. They were looking decent. Actually, through some very, very, very poor defending, they found themselves down by 3 goals. And, ultimately, for a change, we had a spot of luck because that first goal,
also,
any other week,
it's got to be surely good attacking as well. It wasn't just poor defending, it was good attacking.
Decisive, yeah. I must say, I think Bierlich looked absolutely shattered after his World Cup adventure. I think Bierlich should have gone off earlier because I think he looked shattered.
Not 9-hour flight back.
Yeah. What, to Sussex?
Yeah, we got an airport. We got Gatwick. It's only up the road. And Hannibal had obviously had a free holiday and played 10 minutes, and so did George James. They still got their legs in them, but you're right. He did fade in the end, didn't he?
He looked flattered.
And it's emotionally. I mean, he played 3 or 4. He played 4, didn't he? 4 World Cup, or 3.5 at least. 4 World Cup games. In those conditions, temperatures, whatever. No beer.
And he's only human, Alan, isn't he? He's not a robot,
Exactly. And then come out and play in -5 temperatures or whatever it was. It's understandable. And I'm like Nick, I had no enthusiasm for this World Cup at all. And all I could think about during those 4 weeks was Blackpool away. I kept thinking, let's get this out. Let's get to Blackpool, get it away. And obviously the other night, as I said earlier, I missed half the fight. Well, I missed 2/3 of it because I'd forgotten it was on. And I switched on in the 70th minute. My mind was still on Friday night. And what we're going to say tonight. World Cup, go out. It's a summer thing. End of.
Yeah.
I think there's some more comments.
Go on, Craig, sorry.
More comments coming through. Mark Hopkins has said, although it's frustrating at times, we're actually playing the best football that he's seen for a long time, and we can.
Yeah, I totally agree with him.
Some of those little triangles and passing moves are absolutely beautiful.
And I've got to echo as well what I think it was yourself, Alan, that said we haven't peaked.
No,
there's still more. There's still more to come out this team.
Yeah.
It's, and hopefully, it builds over time. It'd be lovely to continue the way we are, and then have that ultimate peak as we get to that end of the season, where hopefully we're in that position to go for it.
Wembley.
Well, historically, we're useless in January. Yeah, I've said this before. Yeah, the year we went up with Sunderland under Steve Bruce, we were top of the league after Boxing Day, and at the we lost. We didn't take a point, and we had a couple of games called up, but we didn't actually take a point in January, and we were 8 points in front of Derby at top of the league, and we were 26 points in front of Sunderland, who eventually won the league. Derby finished 2 points behind us. So our second half wasn't, certainly January was terrible. And, you get knocked out the cup and, all that business. I'm just hoping and praying we have a half decent January. We've not got the tough games after
for this, Alan, pray that we have a really decent January.
Well, I'll accept.
Just because history, we always used to hang people, but that wasn't right.
No, I know that. But when you've been watching Blues as long as I have, you can quote. Oh, I remember when I did this. Somebody tell me a time when we've had a home game on a Saturday and a Tuesday when we've won both. Can't remember one in 60 years. Can't remember. You're thinking, why can't we play one at home, one away? Play two consecutive home games. We win one, draw one. That's as much as you can hope for. We've had two games and we've drawn one and lost one. And then one away the Saturday after. All that sort of thing. I mean, it drives me nuts, to be honest.
Right, the test is coming. 8 days' time. Burnley. This is the one that's going to have the highlighter mark put through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be finding. Could be
the acid test. Yeah.
Well, we didn't do too badly against them.
Ours? No, we didn't.
Didn't they get a late equaliser, or did we get a late equaliser?
They did.
Yeah. And they didn't look anything special. I mean, I on Saturday, what did I watch? I watched Hull and Sunderland, right? The reason was if Sunderland had won, they'd have caught us up, and they didn't. But it was a decent game, quite watchable. But I'm looking. Sunderland beat us a fortnight ago, or before. How on earth did they do that? They were dreadful, and Hull outplayed them, and they were so unlucky not to get the 3 points. And I'm thinking, well, we got to go and play these. Why aren't we wiping away these teams? But to be fair, we aren't Burnley.
We are still learning.
We are still learning. We're still learning, and I'm waiting for that perfect performance where you really wallop somebody.
6-0.
Yeah, 6-0.
The bucket comes out.
The bucket comes out. Yeah, and I think we've got it in us. I mean, we should have beat Blackpool 4 or 5, but it ended up 0-0.
Yeah.
It's ironic when you score after 60 seconds in the following game and you've been battering away 95 minutes at Blackpool, can't score. And then first trip up the pitch at St Andrews and it's 1-0. And you're thinking,
the beautiful.
Well, you done that 5 minutes earlier, like in the last game.
I honestly thought, Alan, to be honest, Al, I thought on Friday it'd be 5 or 6 at half time. I just thought we'd get another 2 or 3, but it didn't transpire, But
I mean, the commentators were dreadful on Sky commentators. They showed it 3 times and they didn't point out that the Chung one, when he ran along the goal line and tried to score, that was a brilliant save by the keeper. That was going in and he tipped it round. And we didn't get the corner because the referee didn't see it either. But it was, and then, of course, the kick off the line, he could have kicked it anywhere else in the goal and it would have gone in. But, that's us, isn't it? Blackpool with the post, we had 2 goals disallowed, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah.
Right, okay, just had a few messages up the B6 bloke that I stand with on Remembrance Sunday. Just hung on, then he says. I said, a win's a win, bud.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Hey, going into Christmas isn't what I was expecting. He said, you're doing well. Nice to see Jude back with his people. Like that. I'll always hate Blues, but I'd rather hate them twice a season than Derby. Steve Charlie Chester, well done, Sunshine, well done.
It's fair to say some of the comments on the board as well. Be happy with a draw going into Burnley. Couldn't echo that anymore. You know, if we can take away a draw, that's a great result.
How much more happy would you be to take those 3 points off Burnley? Ooh. That narrows that gap again. Craig, it narrows that gap by 3.
Narrows the gap, but I think, look, I'm a realist. We're not going to win the league, you know.
I just hope that comes back to bite you on the backside, because I will play that over and over and over again 10,000 times a week.
So do I. I hope it does come back, but I'm being a realist. I think
statistically, we'd need another 50 points to win the league, or automatic. Yeah. And it's not impossible, but you know,
it is.
but it's a bit far fetched, you know. I'll settle for a playoff place, and there's no, as I said before, there's no reason on earth. You look at everybody else's, you know, Coventry. I was looking at them thinking, oh dear, now we're 3-0 up, and I think, oh, that's not good, because you know they've got 2 games on and off, and they give 3 goals away in the last 10 minutes.
Okay, let's talk about Coventry, because you know we've had an association with Coventry for a little while they borrowed their ground and what's with that, and the decision to let them stay in their own city was the right one. It was the right one. Stop messing with football. Stop it. Mr. Ashley, come on, you shouldn't have that up. You had Newcastle, for crying out loud's sake. You had Newcastle United, one of the most loyal supporters for a football club in this country, without a shadow of a doubt, right? Stop messing with football. And, right, I'm just going to go back to the World Cup a second, Alan, if you don't mind, yeah? Disgusted. I'm absolutely disgraced, mate. Empty seats at the final whistle. What's all that about?
It's crazy,
empty seats at the World Cup final once every 4 years. My goodness me. Huh?
Yeah,
what would you have given, Alan, to have gone to that World Cup final? And just
I'd have loved to have gone,
yeah, exactly, mate.
I would have been there, sitting in my seat an hour before the kickoff, taking it all in.
You'd have been there a week before the kickoff.
Well, exactly. You know, it's unimaginable to even when it was in this country, you know, the chances of you getting a ticket are pretty slim. Yeah. You know, I did go to 1 or 2 games. I went to the World Cup in France. No chance of getting a ticket for that, even though we were there. So yes, I did notice that myself. And who would it be? The French people have gone home, or the locals, or the locals?
The locals. It was all corporate. It was all corporate, and that one ledge there and the 2 ledges down, right? It was corporate. They've probably got their helicopters sat outside waiting to go home or something like that. Yeah. This is why football should not be held in these countries ever.
Yeah. No, I'm with you there.
Ironically, it was the World Cup was banned in many French cities as a protest to the goings on in government. Yeah, which is in Paris, it wasn't allowed.
No, stop the proceedings.
It wasn't allowed.
Shaz has come from work. All chesty coffee. She's only got on court for it because she's man flu, hasn't she? Huh?
Don't think they call it.
Who's cooking your Christmas story? Birthday dinner?
Live in the bus stop. Go on, up you go. Go into the bus stop.
Just on the subject of grounds, we were talking about Coventry earlier. Lily's just asked, do you think it's time we moved away before the ground fell down?
It's already done that, mate.
Would you move away?
Firstly, I'd not move away.
Would I want to?
Andrews is the home.
No. No, the reason for me is because in 1973, my dad held my hand, and the bombed out houses that were on the right-hand side, the old bus stop, Kingston, bingo, one thing and another. It's tradition. It's tradition. I would not want to move. What are you drinking?
A nice Scottish malt that was bought for my birthday.
Oh.
When was your birthday?
It was the 9th of December, you know, thinking.
Nowhere near as important as mine, mate. Sorry, but there you go. Listen.
So we would stay, would we?
Oh, the only thing I would like, Chris, is if I didn't have to climb the hill.
Yeah.
I'm getting so old.
I know. You look a lot older than you're 61 years. I'm telling you that now.
I've got to say the work that they have done during the World Cup has been phenomenal. The amount that they have shifted,
done a lot.
Yeah.
And actually, it looked good considering how much has actually gone on. It's good to hear some of the information that came out from the fans forum, which we'll go on to shortly.
Yes, somebody on YouTube has just asked about that as well. Yeah, I've just said we'll talk about
Mind
that.
you,
Tweet that came out anonymously, though, that tweet that just came out, giving us an update. Thank you so very much for that.
Yeah,
that's all we as fans want. Mark,
we'll talk about that in a minute.
I was going to say,
Craig.
looking over at the, I mean, I've had that seat in the Lower Tilton for 25 years. So it's been a long time. It's a little bit sad, really, because my seat's gone. But I'm just thinking, how are they going to accommodate those of us in the Lower Tilton? What's going to happen if you don't want to stand? Or so I think a lot of us will have some thinking to do. Where to go next season.
This might sound.
Here's mine.
It might
Make
sound
it
strange.
safe standing all the way round. End of.
If they're going to have safe standing on the lower tier,
will people move from the top?
How are people who are sitting down?
No, I want to stand up at football, jump up and down and go mental.
Hang on. How can you, if you're sitting down behind the ones standing up, how the hell's that going to work?
And let's not forget, safe standing doesn't mean no seats.
They fold down.
I went to the Molyneux to watch England play, and it was in an area where it was safe standing.
Sorry.
No, Nick, I sanitised when I got out, mate. I was fine.
No, all right.
But it for me gives you that option. So if you want to stand, you can stand. If you want to sit down, you sit down. The one thing is, it's not an obscured view. Now, just to come on to that particular point, we're talking about safe standing. So for those that are not aware, there was a fans forum last Thursday at St Andrews. We mentioned it on the show last week. And Paul did attend on our behalf, and the stadium, plans for the stadium were discussed, at which point it was emphasised that safe standing is firmly on the agenda. Now, what they haven't covered is how much. How far do they trial it, or do they just go, do you know what, we're just going to go for it and then get it all the way around? The time frames, people were realistic in the event. So time frames, Tilton should be open and available at the start of next season. However, more work than was expected was due to the COP, which has resulted in there being, as they're forecasting at the moment, a bit of a delay until we get to probably next autumn. So it's not too dissimilar to what we first saw, but it's an opportunity. They've confirmed that the old seats that were in there are not going back. There will be brand new seats across the whole of the bottom tier. They've also confirmed that there will be replacement of seats within the old main stand. So they're looking to revamp that area as well. Some of the other pointers that were brought up during the meeting, which incidentally was originally planned for an hour and a half. I think it lasted just shy of 4 hours because of the amounts that they did discuss and what they opened up with. So other areas that have been mentioned, the vending areas within most parts of the stadium will be relooked at with improvements to be made.
Massive issue.
There are also plans for the mural that's up at the back of the Tilton for others to be in and around the stadium. So it's not just sticking where they are. The plan is to improve all areas across the board. There were pointers around communication, obvious questions in and around ownership that were raised. The club, couldn't confirm those particular pointers. However, I've said communication as an overall has improved, which I think is fair. It can be better, and they actually acknowledge the fact that it could be better. So I believe that we will see some other areas coming as we progress. Other areas that were discussed, and I'm just going into the notes that we had, but in terms of the team and the transfer window, firstly, we don't have millions of pounds to spend. However, the words that we used were, if we can find the right player that fits our strategy, that we can get at the right price, then money can be made available. And so don't write it off. There's also what else have we got? And I've got to say, I think there was a message sent out for Friday. I didn't notice it personally. However, they will be ramping up checks in regards to ticketing as you go into the stadium. And it was raised by numerous groups that on many occasions they have heard of people that are going in as adults with under 16 tickets. Damn. And therefore they will be making more checks to make it difficult for those people to get in unless they pay the right money. And
it's not difficult, impossible.
Yeah, impossible.
Take the season ticket off them if they're doing that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I think what people got to realise is we've got to have money coming in to be able to go and spend. So for every adult that's going in with a kid's ticket, you're costing the club. Simple as. So that has to stop. There's going to be new security stewarding, and a new company has already started in the Gilmerick. They're called SSGG. And they will be moving things forward and are a big improvement from what's being said on the K2.
So we've no more K2 next year?
Not in certain areas of the ground. They will be in, I think, the rest of it, but not in the Gilmerick at the moment.
Yeah.
Community work was heavily discussed and saying, how much has actually gone on now that we're actually able to do so. So it did cover off the facts. And again, for those that may not have seen it, we did have players from both the ladies and the gents team visiting Heartlands Hospital to give out presents to the kids.
Yeah, I saw that.
They will also be doing various incentives moving forwards with games for local schools. So we're going to see more of that upcoming. They are looking at whether we can have what they call a proper fan zone. So that will be an area that's catering for everybody, not just to go and have a beer or a drink with people, but, how can they incorporate families and people into that? Then, the only other comments that came from Paul, which was really, really nice to hear, is that even if we got multi-billionaire owners tomorrow, from being at that meeting, Paul immediately said he would not change any of the management team that were present because they were fantastic. So, there's those different things. Just a few other areas and fans forum groups that were there for reference. The Blues Trust were represented, and obviously they had questions answered. The Blues Collective had attendees there as well, as did Reggit's Supporters Club and Excessi Blues. So it was a proper mixture of fans and a very positive meeting.
Nothing more than what we want, Craig. Was
exactly.
Was the tannoy system discussed? Because it's inaudible.
I don't know whether tannoy was discussed, but I do agree we need to do something.
Certainly in the GM up, all I can hear is...
How does it go?
This is entertaining. It goes like this, Chris, right? And I've practiced this in front of the mirror all week with a hairbrush. When's your next foray to Radio West Midlands then, Craig?
So I was on Friday, just to give a perspective of what it was like on Friday. And in fact, it was also to discuss around the season so far. And you know, I'll be honest with what I said, which was I didn't expect us to be where we are.
Do you go into the studio or is it through the phone?
No, it's through the phone.
Okay.
But I said, didn't expect us to be where we are, that there is no reason that we shouldn't push on. We should look to strengthen where we can.
He was the next Daz Hale, you know what I mean?
If he's listening, and Daz, I apologise, but I don't want you accent. Apart from that, I don't mind your job.
Craig, just going back to the fans forum. Anthony says over in United States, he says, do you get the impression that the owners are actively looking to sell the club?
I don't.
I'll go back to the statement that they made when Paul Richardson's and Maxi Lopez's deal actually, was ultimately fell through. And that statement they made were that other people were coming to the club and were interested in ultimately having a stake. I think to again reinforce what I said last week, a sale of the club is something that, unless we have a minor miracle tomorrow, is not going to happen for 2 years because of the Hong Kong Stock Exchange situation. However, do I think that there are people out there interested in initial investments with a view to buying? Yes. I also believe, though, that, let's face it, we're in a situation at the moment where we are just outside the playoffs. We could push for the playoffs.
That's unreal.
We could be promoted.
Weird.
If we were promoted, would they sell?
No.
No. If they were promoted, would they look for further investment? I still believe they would. Because I think the time is ticking with those owners. They, as fans, it was still heard on Friday. They want the owners out. We can all honestly say that we would all love new owners to come through the door to take us to the next level. And
wouldn't be so bad, Craig, if they've got faces. Wouldn't be so bad if we knew who they were and we could talk to them.
I think it's probably gone too far now, though, Nick. I mean, even if that person turned up and plastered their face as the next poster that was happening in and around St Andrews, it wouldn't matter. It's gone too far. They've lost. They've lost a large proportion. I don't think it would bode well, to be honest with you. Right.
And once again, for all the wrong reasons, we'd be on national news.
Yeah, but I think over time, new owners will come, and
I'm running out of time, mate.
I want it to be the right people, though. I don't want to be in a position like we are now, where we have another Paul Streng that comes in and says, "Right, you're in trouble. I'll help you out. Right, I'll invest the money. I'll take it." They've got to come in. They've got to help us out to steady the ship. They've got to help us out to get us to the next level. They've got to be able to continue to support and help run the club. They have to be a face. They have to be there. If we don't have that, we'll never go anywhere.
No. Well, like I said, last week we'll be having this conversation in 2 years' time. Just be on a loop.
Yeah.
But,
and think about this. Will I be here? Alan, will you be here? Chris, will you be here? Will any of us be here? We simply don't know. No. And that's being deadly serious, right? And we're passionate. We're football fans. Yeah, we're passionate, right? And we just want the best for our football club.
Yeah.
One of the things that I put in my blog the other week about a theory that at the start of the season, we're bankers for relegation, blah, blah, blah. And the owners start to loosen the reins and these guys come in and put money in. And then suddenly the Chinese think, hang on a minute, this club's actually better than we thought. We've actually got a good management team. We're doing okay. Perhaps they, and the deal that Paul Richardson was going through fell through. Did they say, well, actually, we thought it was worth this, but now we're doing all right. We want this. Did that happen, or as you know, is it just theory basically on my part? You know, were the surprise circumstances that we find ourselves in make us a more valuable property?
Yeah,
So,
there was something, Alan, in the due diligence process that prevented that takeover, well, that investment takeover, whatever it was. Right now, let's go back 12 years, 13 years, right, to when Carson Young took over Birmingham City Football Club. Prior to that, he was having talks with B6.
yeah.
And if it wasn't for an incredible footballing man and finance man, can't remember his name, the chairman.
Gold.
No, not ours, theirs.
Oh,
Ellis.
sorry.
Okay.
I was going to say.
Deadly Doug Ellis.
Deadly Doug, thank you. Thank you.
Okay.
If it wasn't for Deadly Doug going to Ernst & Young and saying, check this man out for me, they may well have been in this position right now, because he wanted, firstly, to buy that football club, not ours, right? Why didn't we do that same due diligence? Why did the EFL and the footballing bodies give him a fit and proper person's test?
When he talks, Nick, he came in and offered 4 times the value of the club.
Mate,
Simple as.
right, my son's a
Yeah,
barber, he cuts me hair for 20 quid.
Yeah.
He's never going to afford £94 million or how much it costs, right?
It's
Well,
madness. It's madness. It's madness.
Few comments that are coming in and around the owners actually on the board, and one that's just worth shouting out here. And thank you, Linda Magna, that is, for the details. And what at the moment is circulating is that part of the deal that was with Maxco was that if we were promoted, that they would have got more money through the sale of the club. However,
Rightfully so, in my opinion.
yeah, rightfully so. However, they wouldn't accept that should any investigation by the EFL or any other area result in us being demoted or losing points, they would not reduce the price of the club. Now, that obviously is what we're hearing. I've got to be honest. If you go and buy a house, you agree a fee. You get that house searches done though, and somebody finds that the roof needs replacing. What happens? You go back and you renegotiate. So if that is the case,
that is your due diligence, isn't it?
That is due diligence. But why did they not agree to that clause? What do these people think is going to happen? You know,
Here you go, Craig. I don't think they want to get rid of the football club. I do not think that they want to sell the football club. Right, I do not. And I think all this is just a sham. It's a sham from faceless, horrible, rich people from around the world who I hate with a complete passion in all my life.
Nick, you can say that, Nick. But at the moment, those rich people who are faceless and we have no idea who they are really, are still putting money into our club, keeping us afloat.
Yeah.
And how much money do you spend? Apart from the management team and the playing staff, and I can't go into catering because I would lose it, big style, believe me, right? But apart from catering, from the management and the playing staff, and the office staff and one thing like that, the place is a shambles. It's a shambles from top to bottom. Half the stadium is like dug out. It's 20 odd years old.
Yeah.
I don't know if we did get a promotion, I don't think they know what would hit them. It'd be well, I don't know. Not saying we're not ready for promotion, but
Nigel Mann's actually is quite true. He said trying to find out who owns our club is like playing squad game with Paul Hipkiss. You're never going to win.
That was brilliant.
But I mean,
absolutely brilliant. Well done, mate.
Look,
Can I just say, sorry, Craig,
Go on.
going on to a bit of a tangent, but do you think there was anything in George Hall not being on the bench even on Friday?
I hope not.
It was just really a bit of a strange one, wasn't it? He was completely missing.
That was one of the things that was also raised, I will say, on Thursday. And, Craig Gardner apparently was very open in regards to transfers and things and said to everybody there, categorically, it is rubbish. Total and utter rubbish. While some people will take that with a pinch of salt, I've got to say at the moment, the way Craig is running the books ultimately and the people he's getting through the door, I actually believe that he is going nowhere.
I mean, if Craig Gardner says it, it's true. Because you know what? That bloke would not want to come out of that football club with egg on his face. He would not.
No, I agree.
I think it's also
with a pinch of salt these days.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to say, they're running a football club, so you're never, ever going to get 100% truth because at the end of the day, they can't
But
talk
you know what?
around.
Craig Gardner loves the Blues, doesn't he?
Yeah,
He does, but if somebody came in and offered stupid money
of course, yeah.
for George Hall, he's going to go.
Yeah, and they've said that all the
everybody
while.
has a value.
Yeah,
Everything's got a price.
and the club's got a
everything.
price. The club has got a
Mark
price
Adams,
as well.
£4.63. Craig
Yeah.
Courtney, £9.80.
Yeah.
Watto, chairman of the board, £12.50. Chris Brown, 43 pence.
I'm honoured.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, goodbye, Birmingham City Football.
Job done.
Oh dear, it's good to laugh though, isn't it? Look, we're 8 going into Christmas. Let's relish in this. Let's enjoy it. Let's enjoy this moment. We're 8, right? We know that how tight this league is, right? But we are 8, right? We're not 22nd or whenever, right? We're 8. Enjoy your Christmas and just let's keep climbing and climbing and climbing slowly, silently.
Yeah.
Silent night, holy night.
Actually, Nick,
love
Stephen Gill's just joined. His message just on the board, and it's very true. You've mentioned all of us. You haven't mentioned Stephen and all of his fantastic write-ups that he does for the ladies. He said, does that mean that he's a free transfer?
I want Stephen Gill on the programme every week. There you go.
Stephen Gill is like the 6th Beatle.
Oh, poor bloke.
Oh, brutal.
I mean, no, not now. He's 5th, isn't he? It's strange because me and Alan were talking. We were talking offline about
I would love Stephen Gill to be on the show every week to give a perspective on ladies football. Right? I don't.
I agree.
I watch it, but I don't follow it. I don't
No.
like disseminate it. One thing or another.
No. Oh, and on that subject, was it true about the ladies not being at St Andrews next season?
Yeah,
Well,
I've heard
That
that.
that
Hang on,
was.
whoa.
Yeah.
There's no ladies' toilets at St Andrews next season.
Oh dear.
Oh,
Oh,
it's
I'm
too
sorry.
early for them, Nick. It's too early.
Oh,
The cracker
great.
jokes, you've got to save them until
Look at
Christmas
your
Day.
face. Look at your face.
Terrible.
Oh, I'm gonna have to go back and just take that picture.
I was like, no.
Yeah, so I did hear about them possibly moving away from St Andrews.
There was mention of that, and actually it's acted as a nice prompt as well to say that it was confirmed that there would be investment into the ladies' game again. But yes, there is a possibility that they will be looking for elsewhere to play their games as we move forwards.
Yeah.
Can I just on that point as well, just a general point? I think after the women's Euros last year, I think everybody thought there'd be massive crowds, not just at Blues, but all over. But
All over.
by and large,
Poor.
I don't think that's.
They're poor.
Yeah, but look what happened at Stoke City. 9 miles up the road from me here. Like they stage an international game, and people weren't getting into that state. We're talking Stoke City. Have been in the Premier League. They have been in the Championship, right? And they knew it was going to be a full house, and they couldn't stop it, or didn't stop it for whatever reason. And people were getting into that football game 25 minutes after it started.
Crazy.
Ridiculous.
I know that my mate Gabby would have a lot to say on this regarding
You got no mates, Chris.
regarding the women's game. But apart from 2 or 3 games, in the top flight, they're pretty much empty, aren't they?
Yeah, it hasn't caught on at all, has it?
No.
I think there is a difference in the fact that, you know, we are unfortunately not part of the Women's Super League, where when I do catch some of the games, especially when they've been on during the World Cup and stuff, and attendances, you know, to see in some areas 5,000 and 6,000, whilst we might think that is small, actually for the women's game, that's bloody good.
Yeah.
But then also you can get clubs like Arsenal, Manchester City, Manchester United, who are using their stadiums and getting neon sellouts. So it is there.
Yeah. That was colossal last week, wasn't it? Last week, 48. The week before, 48,000 for the Manchester derby.
That's it.
Don't you think, though? Sorry, Craig, to put in, but don't you think, though, a lot of that is potentially people who maybe can't afford to go into the men every week, and so they're missing. Yeah. I'm not being disrespectful for saying the next best thing, but you know what I mean.
They are cheap.
They can't get to the regular games. They can't afford it.
You know what, Mark,
so it's the next.
I would actually genuinely, I would sell my soul, and I would certainly sell Sharon for a Blues ticket.
Yeah, I would sell as well. Yeah, I would as well.
You'd sell her as well?
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's a nice little segue to say
it's beginning to look like Christmas.
10 minutes away from making the draw for the raffle. If you haven't had a go and you still want to, tickets are still available. And you mentioned there wanting a ticket for the game. First prize, pair of half-season tickets. For the remainder of this season.
Really?
If we get into the playoffs, that guarantees you a playoff ticket. So if you haven't had a go and you still want to, you can still get the tickets. 10 minutes to go, ladies and gents.
What have you got to lose for a couple of quid? A couple of quid.
I'll take 20 tonight. Little does she know.
For a couple of quid, you might get to a
it's all right. I've just robbed it out of a purse.
Just to go back to the ladies' game as well, just to say happy birthday to, or belated birthday to Coach Carts for the other day. And I think, you know, at the club at the moment, we started on a bit of a rocky start, but actually things are looking very promising now for the ladies. And long may that continue. Let's see this second half of this season for that promotion push to get us back into the Women's Super League. And
I love Carts. I think he's brilliant. You know, he comes in with his Alice band and Tom Ross rips 9 colours out of him, right? And it's brilliant. But you know what? He'll come back with it next time, won't he?
Yeah. Going back to the ladies, we picked the worst possible time to get relegated out of the top division, didn't we?
We did.
It's you know, definitely. I remember it was reported during lockdown when the women played at what's it called, Vile Park or something.
Yeah,
they could have sold 30,000 tickets for that.
Yep.
But that's, you know, they were new to the division. You know, it was the first top level derby, blah 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 blah, and of course nobody could get in. That boat has sailed now. You know, we're in different divisions.
Let's not forget though, we've been there as a club. The women's team at Birmingham was outstanding.
Yeah,
at a point in time when we had Tim Andrews in charge and we were
Karen Carney. We won the FA Cup,
Champions League.
Yeah. Karen Carney there. Ellen White.
Yeah.
We had there as well.
The one thing Carson Young did do, he put money into the women, didn't he? He backed them. He might have done a lot of other bad things, but he did keep our women's team in the top 3 or 4 of the Premiership. And once he'd gone, that's when it started to slide.
Wasn't it Peter Panu that decided not to invest?
No, doesn't it? Maybe.
PP was the one not wanting to invest, and the other guy whose name will never be mentioned by me again, but he actually wanted the ladies' team to fold. I mean,
what was the first initial of his first name? Second initial of his last name? First initial of his last name, sorry.
Well, let's just say, I mean...
What was his star sign?
Yeah, he was just a pain in the backside, weren't he? But, you know, It's the guy
Mr.
that puts him
Piles.
Piles, yeah, he might as well be. We'll now refer to him as hemorrhoid, but yes, when hemorrhoid was at the club, it puts us in a position we should never have been in.
God, this is just fun to descendants.
You can't steal Jack Grealish's nickname.
What? You do not say those two words on this show, ever.
I call him the hemorrhoid because he's always on his backside.
He's on his backside, yeah.
Potter, that was brilliant.
Brilliant.
Stephen Gill says he's a season ticket holder for the ladies. He says if we are moving, then that does worry me. So, but I mean they've played at a few grounds now, haven't they? I mean,
I think you'll probably find
Blues,
Stratford
even.
Yeah. The cost to open St Andrews is probably greater than what comes in at the end of the day.
Yeah,
Whereas
yeah.
If we, move to somewhere like Solihull Moors again, where it's not going to cost as much to open up, but then you can build the people going and hopefully get that, those numbers back through the door like we were getting. And also, for me, you're in a small space with more people, the atmosphere is better. I've been to a couple of the ladies' games, and it's great, but it is frustrating to be in an area and you just think to yourself, look at the whole of this stadium's empty, you can't hear a damn thing. Yeah, and that is horrible. I think I would much prefer to be somewhere where we can say we're paying less, we're still getting the people through the door, and we can generate a bit of an atmosphere. And Nigel, man, yes, most definitely it's Christmas, so we are definitely in the Panto season tonight.
Oh, no, we're not.
Nick's disappeared, but at that point we could have just turned around and said she's behind you, but unfortunately I have to get her instead.
Oh, that was scary. That was scary. Really nice out of him, that would.
Again, going back, I don't know, probably 5 or 6 years ago, when the women were playing at Solihull, they were getting bigger gates than Solihull were.
Yeah. Yes, that's right.
Okay, Solihull have rocketed since then, but because of some good investment. But the women actually were getting 1,500 to 2,000, and Moors were getting 900. And it changed because not that the ladies went down, they didn't. Solihull overtook them, but it's all about marketing at the end of the day. They have a place in the market, and it's up to us to promote them and sell them, and get them on the front page of the program occasionally, and
hasn't it also been a sort of novelty thing as well, where you get these big gates? You know what I mean?
Yeah, local derbies. Yeah, of course they did.
Derbies, it's not going to happen all the time.
The two we played last season against the other lot, I think I'm right in saying we got about 5,000, did we, at St Andrews, and they probably got about 8 at the other place. As I said, the year before, when it was locked down, we could have got who knows what. But it had, we were bottom of the league when we were still in. I think we lost. Well, we beat them the last game, didn't we, at Villa Park? Sorry.
Oh, he's done it.
I don't bear the poor girl any ill will, to be honest. But I remember watching that game, and our goalkeeper that they nicked off us threw one in. Well done, girl. And she had a nightmare on Saturday against Arsenal. Bad luck. So all those players that they nicked off us, and the manager, ain't done them that much good, has he?
Jason Hughes, yes, love the comment, but save it. The last 15, that's going to be a great one. So just keep that one in the pocket, ready for the last 15.
That does seem like a good idea. Yeah. Because it is associated with what we're going to do in the last 15. Yeah, good one.
And ladies and gents, 2 minutes left to get your tickets. 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Do you want me to just give you the 20 next time I see you, or do you want me to post it to Chris?
Craig, you'll never, ever, ever see that £20.
Nick, for each time that you say you're going to pay it and we don't get it, we're upping it by the same amount again.
Yeah, I think
I'll just come over and pay it up now.
£1 a week. £1 a week. I think if every week he goes over, it's an extra £1 to our charity.
You know what?
Matt Wilborn, do you think we will sign anyone in January? We briefly touched it, but I think we may do. We may spring a shock with some of the players that are out there. They're not going to be world beaters, we know that. But tell you what, if we can bring in the caliber like we did in the summer, then who knows?
Here's a question. Here's a question for the team. Do you think Christian Bielik will be with us for the second half of the season?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
More likely is obviously we've got too many loans, and I think the Polish lad will have to go back because he's not playing. But more importantly, could we turn one of our loans into a permanent and then loan somebody? Is that more likely?
I agree with you, Alan. I think he probably is. I think I don't think it'll be Bielik. I think if we were to do anything, and actually if it was down to me at the moment, I'd put the cheeky offer for Deion Sanderson in.
Cheeky offer for who?
Deion Sanderson.
Yeah. Yes, he probably. Yes, you probably have more success trying for him than any of the others, unless Bielik's decided, he doesn't want to play third division football ever and stays with us. But loan agreements are loan agreements, and there's all sorts of.
Right, my lad cuts Christian Bielik's hair. Right?
Does he?
Yeah, I'll get him to sound him out next time we did.
I hope it's on his head.
Dave Twine has just he said this twice actually. He says in the Mail tonight, Blues are trying to swap Bielik for Cosgrove.
No.
I tell you what, that could happen because Derby are crying out for a striker, and at the moment he's scoring for fun during his loan. So that's a good call. That is.
Where is he?
Plymouth,
Where is he?
Plymouth, yeah.
Plymouth, yeah.
Plymouth.
Crikey,
Plymouth.
What?
Right, gentlemen, because I didn't catch up with you earlier. Do we have a subject for us 15?
We do, yeah. Well, we're not going to tell
Okay,
you.
cool. I will leave it to you whosoever, but we've got 1 minute left.
Yeah. Nigel says that Ruddy has to be our best asset, a great keeper.
Oh.
What an absolute steal. What a
Signing of the season.
Signing of the season. Player of the season.
I mean, even on Friday,
he's just goalkeeper of the season.
Yeah, he'd walk into any championship side. Do
you know what? He's
really
into most Premiership sides. I'll be honest. He is off the scale brilliant. His speed and his reactions at his age are just unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I totally agree. Peter Taylor says, let's see if you agree with this. But Pete says, would you flog George Hall, Djukovic and Cosgrove and get in Bielik, Trusty and Sanderson on permanents?
On that one, yes.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah.
I think the only one for me that I would still be dubious about the Duke going at the moment. I think we still need him as our backup because we did ultimately miss Hogan on Friday, and I think we need somebody like him to be there waiting in the wings. Come on,
powerhouse.
Yeah, it's somebody that let's face it. If we're going into the last 20 minutes of a game and we're 2-1 down, we've got people that can put a ball into the net, into the box, right? We've got nobody better than Duke sitting on the bench that can head the ball.
Yeah.
So I would still keep him. Do I see him there at the end of the season? That's a difference there. That's a different story because I think he probably will go at the end of the season, but I think he'll stay with us until then.
Yeah.
But I think in terms of selling George Hall, I think again it comes down to money. If somebody offered a stupid amount for ultimately, for me, an unproven player at this present moment, then as a club, we would be stupid not to look at it. I don't think we will, but we would be stupid if we didn't.
We'll wait and see. Here we go. We're into the last 15 minutes. Craig Courtney, what is the subject tonight?
Well, it's the festive season. So,
No, it isn't.
Jolly.
so our last 15 is anything to do with the festive season and football. I'm not going to say just Christmas because it can be anything. It can be pantos. It can be Christmas. It can be presents.
Whoa.
Names.
All these things are to do with Christmas. Do not ever come to me, ever, and say, Happy Holidays. I saw a sign in a shop yesterday. Happy Holidays? What? America.
I've got one.
No. Who said that? Alan.
Hanukkah.
Hang on. Let me get ready. Go on.
Hanukkah, Maybury.
Hey?
Ah, clever.
Oh, yeah.
I've got one.
Whatever.
Here you go. You ready? Ball.
Pardon?
What?
Christmas
You just
ball.
swore us horrible.
Come on.
Ball.
You know what I mean? There was no need, Nick. I know you don't like us, but there's no need to tell us on air.
No. The drugs are kicking in now. They usually start to kick in after about an hour and 40 minutes. I think.
I didn't even know it
Let's
started.
be finished now.
Thanks, Alan, for that contribution. Get off.
You're welcome.
Oh, dear.
Nigel Mann said, "Ruddy hell, it is snowing." That class is festive season. We can accept that one. Oh, brilliant. Lily pad, Nick, just for you. Delhi had a bar humbug.
What about Harry?
what?
What about Harry Candy Cane?
Harry Candy
Oh,
Cane.
wow,
Oh, that's
wow,
clever.
wow.
Hey, yeah, I've got one. You ready? Queen's Park Mangers.
Very good.
Oh,
Oh,
that
Nick,
is very
that's
good.
possibly one of the best ones you've ever done.
In 12 years,
Did
Chris.
somebody help you?
Dealey's got a theme. You know, Dealey had a bowl of chestnuts. He's out there as well.
Dealey had a
Dealey
bowl of Christmas pudding.
We've got Christmas Dougaroo. We've started Nick off already. Come on,
Here we go.
ladies and
Here we go.
gentlemen.
Keep it coming.
Did he had a bowl of chestnuts?
Dealey had a bowl of chestnuts. That's Dom Kavanagh.
I'm dump your tops, but you can be beaten.
Nigel Mann. Yes, I know it's cold and it's part of the festive season, but you're not having a hot of chocolate. It's not allowed.
No,
No.
not that old traditional classic.
Right then, I've got my secret elves with me at the moment who are actually going to do the draw for us for the tickets. They've all just come into the room.
Here we go.
So in turn, I am going to turn the camera so that you can see them as well.
I'm so excited.
So you're all aware, we have Olivia, and Holly. It's perfect for Christmas, but we have Holly as well.
Oh,
So they're going to do the draw. And we'll be well away. So, first prize, as we've mentioned, is a pair of half-season tickets for the rest of the season. And that draw will be made by Olivia, first of all. So,
Hello, Olivia. No swearing. You are live on the Tilton Talk
hello,
Show.
Olivia.
Hi, Olivia.
Hello.
I can confirm that the number is, as we turn it around to show you on the camera, number 36.
Is that me?
And that is a gentleman called Reed.
Oh,
That is what?
We can't hear you. We can't hear you.
Can-
There we go.
Has she
That's
put me
better.
on mute?
No. You when you move away from the camera, we can't hear you.
Right. So it's Matthew Reeves. Congratulations. You
Hello,
are
mate.
the winner of a pair of season tickets for the rest of the season.
Woo, 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 woo.
Well done.
How dare you?
Next up on the list, we've got Holly. Holly's going to do the second prize.
Ole, ole,
Hey,
ole,
ole.
It's just a human.
ole.
So if you press randomise. And for the next prize, which is a signed shirt for this season.
Right, we're losing you. We're losing
Yeah.
you, Craig.
It doesn't work when you move away.
Okay, signed shirt for this season
Yep.
is number 212,
Yeah.
and that is going to Anne Perkins. So, Anne, congratulations.
Well done,
You've got the
Perkins.
signed shirt.
Well done, Anne. I can't wait to poke your eyes out, but well done.
Our next one is going to be driven by Olivia. And Olivia has drawn 187. So 187 is the number. Congratulations to Wendy Mills. Wendy,
Oh,
you have
yeah,
no.
well done, Wendy. She wins everything.
that is in camera at the moment. So congratulations.
Well done, Wendy.
Well done.
Well
Wendy
done.
Mills was caught with the tongue down Jude Bellingham's throat on Friday.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Next prize is 4 tickets to the game that is the festive game. So it will be, I believe, a week on Friday
Yeah.
at St
Burnley?
Andrews.
Yeah.
Is that Burnley?
It's not. It's a home game. I think
home
it's
game,
Hull.
Hull.
Oh.
Yeah.
Isn't that New Year's Day? Monday.
No,
There's
it's
another
Friday.
one.
Friday the 20, Friday the whatever it is.
Yeah, Friday.
Oh,
So
right.
Friday.
Okay.
Yeah.
That
Week on Friday.
has been won by Linda Magna.
Linda Magna.
Number 81, Linda
Oh,
Magna.
no.
Well done. You've got 4 tickets for the game after Christmas.
Well done,
Next
Linda.
one is our
Is
New
that
Year's
who
game.
snubbed Jude?
Huh?
Again, 4 tickets for the New Year's game.
Here we go.
Holly is choosing this one, and that is going to Auntie Linda. Yes,
Oh,
Linda
this
Ensor,
is a
you've won
fiddle.
yourself
This
4
is a
tickets.
Fix.
Fix.
Thanks to the random number collectors
Yeah, well done, random
And
and to our amazing owls. Oliver.
There's another one to come. More to come.
There is.
One more to
And
come.
Our next one and final prize is
Oh,
for
hey,
the
I thought-
signed Chris Scudder book,
Yeah, here we go.
and that is number 232.
That's me.
That is Nick's ball. Congratulations,
Oh,
Nick. You have won Scudder's book.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear.
I like Chris Good. He's a nice guy. You know what?
He's a nice guy.
He is
He's a very nice guy.
And I was outside St Andrews, outside the Cop, many, many years ago. And we were playing the Dingles from up the road. And all hell broke loose in that car park. It did. And me, Chris Goodett, and another guy out this lady with children in the car to push the car into St Andrews. I'm sorry, but I'm not even going to bother going there.
I'm bored of it already.
It was a horrible thing, I promise you.
Oh, dear. Well done to everybody.
Well
Well
done.
done to all our winners.
Well done, everyone.
And
well done.
just to top it off, I can confirm that we have also had a really good offer for the shirt, for the shirt from our friend Jack McGover. And it's going to a lady that's got a fantastic story behind it as well. So congratulations to Kim Upton.
Well done, kid.
You have been successful with the bid for the shirt.
Fantastic.
We'll arrange to get that across because I know there's a story behind what it will be used for and why. And hopefully as well, we could arrange that little message to go alongside.
Is that a story? Is that a story in the new year that we could get live on air? Perhaps get Kim on the phone or on Zoom.
I don't want to say anything just yet in case
No.
somebody's actually listening.
Probably
But there
so.
is. It's a really nice story, and yes, we will get some details from Kim. I'm sure.
No
she won't
pressure,
mind
Kim.
me mentioning
No
it.
pressure.
Fantastic.
Whatsoever.
Craig, do we have a sort of ballpark figure on how much we've raised?
I can say that with all of the additional tickets sold this evening and the offer on the shirt, that we have raised just over £400 in total to go to Mind and Cancer Research UK. So thank you,
Absolutely
everybody
fantastic.
that has joined in. It's brilliant. Thank you.
Good job, guys. Well done.
That
Well
is
done.
fantastic. That is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant stuff. Brilliant.
Well,
Brilliant.
Burnley next up, then, ladies and gentlemen. We've got 5 minutes to go. Burnley predictions, please. Craig.
I
No,
want
leave it at that.
to say a dull and boring 0-0. I think
I'll
I
take
think
that.
we'll
Mark?
defend well and get a 0-0.
I'm going to go for I'm going to say an entertaining 1-1. I'll take a draw 1-1.
Chris Browne.
You know what? I fancy a sneaky 1-0 Blues.
Watto.
2-1 Blues.
Do you know what, Watto? That was my thoughts exactly, right? And I think this could be the defining game of our season. We win this one, we're in a very, very, very good position going into the new year.
Well, if we do nick it, then Sky will have to talk about us instead of Reading and whoever else we play and win. You know,
Sky don't care about us. Sky are run from people from B6. They do not care about Birmingham City Football Club. But you know what? We will stamp our mark. Mark, I'm not going to stamp on you.
I was going to say, you don't know that much, do you?
Just because he's from Coventry, for God's sake. You know what I mean? It's not his fault he's from Coventry.
Even Lee Hendry had to say some nice things about us. He doesn't normally, but he couldn't say anything else on Friday night.
What? The last local derby was at Allen, right? I was outside the main stand. And he gets into his car, and oh God, it was surrounded by Birmingham City fans. He was videoing them, right? As if to think that they were going to turn his car over in the main stand car park with like 6 million video cameras on you. Idiot.
Yeah.
Just a few last 15 that have come through on the shout box.
Some good ones there.
We've got Gabriel Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah.
Very, very clever. Mistletoe and Rowan Vine.
That's a good one. Who was that?
That's from Pete Taylor.
Name and shame.
Good one. Good one. Peter Taylor, that was.
Yeah, Nigel Mann as well. Dare we say this, you might get into trouble, but he said, because it counts if he says he criticised his wife's cooking, and that was savage.
Oh.
What about Scrooge Alexandra? Crew. Scrooge Alexander.
I got it, mate. You're all right.
It's sublime.
Oh, what about Turkey United instead of Turkey?
What about Jason Hughes has come up with frankincense Worthington?
Making sense. Oh, yeah, love it. Frankincense Worthington. Frankincense Worthington. Oh, he just got that one.
Dilly had a partridge in a pear tree.
That's a good one.
Mark Brooks says Andy Carroll singers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lily Pad has said that she hopes we all have a messy Christmas. Oh. Jose Dominguez from Peter Taylor.
That's a good one, yeah.
This is a good one. Holly gonna sell Star.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
He must have been thinking that one up all week.
Could have pictured a footballer.
Alex Spruce.
Mm.
What about Wayne Sproutledge?
Mark.
I want what you've been smoking, Mark. Alex Spruce.
Yeah.
Think about it.
Paul Hipkiss is watching the show, ladies and gents. And as a parting gesture, he has come up with Little Drummer and Doy.
Paul, get my son from you, man, please. Come back and see us anytime you like, Paul. You'll always be welcome.
Yeah.
And the door is always open, Chris Browne.
Except when it's shut.
Of course.
What about, quick one, Bob, paper hat on. Bob Hatton.
Okay. So can somebody take off what it is that Mark's been smoking tonight? And I think
Nick's been passing him a few things. They're both as bad as each other today.
I'll tell you what, Nick and Alan.
Well, there we go. Ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, it's been 2022. We've had a horrible few years since 2020. Let's hope that next year is an awful lot better than this, and things calm down in the eastern side of Europe and one thing like that, and that gets sorted out, because I mean, Ukraine were a football team I've been to see, and No need. There's no need for this. No need at all. We should have peace and harmony upon our earth. And we should. We really should. Whether that's one country against another country or one football team, yes, it doesn't matter. Peace, harmony, respect. And I pray that 2023 brings some of those things back together. This has been an amazing year as far as the Tilton Talk Show goes. I think we're on the 12th season now, are we?
Well, we're going into the 13th year.
13th. Oh, we're looking for some. Oh, Chris, you know that when we go into that 13th season, we're going to win 6-0. You know it. You know it. Ladies and gents, girls and boys, we've had an amazing year of fun, laughs, football talk. You guys have been absolutely brilliant, amazing, from all across the world. You know what? Expats and you know, somebody from America today. Chris Browne, I wish you a very Merry Christmas and your family and your lovely daughter and granddaughter. God bless you. Watto, you are an amazing guy. Thank you ever so much for everything you've done this year. Come back next year and we'll do the same again.
Absolutely, no problem.
Superb. God bless you, my friend.
And you too.
Craig Courtney. Wow. You've got so many guests in. It's like an unbelievable journey that I've been on personally, right? Never ever thought that I would speak to so many people from Birmingham City Football Club. Craig and your family have the most amazing Christmas ever. And when we come back next year and meet again, let's just keep right on.
Thanks, Nick. And just to say to everyone, we are working on some hopeful, really great guests for the start of 2023 who are involved in the club, not from old, but are involved with the club now. So as soon as we get it confirmed, watch out for announcements.
Craig, this is what we want, right? Because this forum is just such a good place for this kind of thing, where we're not judgmental. We're not, right? We love our club with all our hearts, yeah? And information, communication helps the nation. I feel like a rapper.
I think this actually sums it all up, really, about what this show is about, because it's not just about us, it's more about...
No, it's not even about us.
So this sums it up from Nigel Mann. He says, thanks for allowing us to make you look good each week.
Honestly, just spat my coke all over my iPad and everywhere. Oh my God, mate.
He's got it spot on, hasn't he?
That I promise you has been the best comment of the year.
Oh, good night.
I wish family a very happy Christmas and a prosperous new year.
Same to you, Nick.
And safety in them. Oh God, there's spit all over.
Sharon, if you're listening, he needs a cleaning cloth for Christmas.
Yeah. And for me and old Shaz, who's come home from work early tonight, costing me a freaking fortune because she thinks she's got a cough. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been the Tilton Talk Show 2022, sponsored by Borough Sports, in conjunction with Chris Browne, Mark Adams, Craig Courtney, Chairman of the Board, Watto, and of course, our great friend Paul Hoopkins, who's welcome back anytime, ever. And from me and my family, I wish you all a peaceful and happy Christmas. And it's my birthday. I don't think I've ever told you that. Good night, God bless.
Down at St Andrews, we are all supporters of our team. We chanted Super Blues, ringing all around. Now all you blue boys know what we mean. We are the lads from the Tilton. We'll support you till the end of the day.